and you already signed a 1-year fixed term agreement, you would have to keep paying for that one.
Deep in the shadows, I know it's hard.
Hey you guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. My name is Boluwatife, but of course you can call me Tife. So today I'm going to be showing you guys, or actually I'm going to be telling you guys how to rent an apartment in Finland, like I promised in my last video. So if you haven't watched my last video, be sure to go watch it out. I would link it up here. Anyway, one of the two. And also, like that last video was actually showing you what to expect kind of when you come to Finland, or like when you have an apartment in Finland, as I was showing some genius things that are in Finnish apartment. So having said all that, let's get straight into this video. As usual, I have my points because I do not want to forget anything, and I'm the writing person. So anyways, first of all, identify your housing need. You guys, you have to first of all identify your housing need. Like, okay, what do I need actually? Do I want a student apartment? Do I want one room? Do I want a studio? Do I want a shared apartment? So it's important to actually, will I say, educate yourself on what these different kind of rooms mean in the context of Finland. You know what I mean? Like, for example, a shared apartment is like there can be 3 rooms in an apartment where they get to share their kitchen and their toilet, sometimes a common room, and sometimes they can have their individual toilet. Just different cases, but in most cases they get to share their kitchen and their toilet. So do you want a shared apartment? Do you want 1-room apartment? 1-room apartment is usually like just you in the whole apartment, but you have just 1 room, a toilet and a kitchen. And do you want a studio? A studio is just like 1 room, no doors between the sectors or demarcation of the house, just like this house that I have now. It's a studio apartment. So just identifying what do I need. And for example, if you have family, you could need like a 2-bedroom or whatever. So that's the first step. That's the first step. So the next step is, where do you find apartment? So if you are a student, in most cases, most schools have their like housing agencies, so you get to apply for housing from your school directly, which is super cool. But the thing about Finland is that the city where your school is in, that is the only housing agency that you can get an apartment from. For example, housing agency for university students in Helsinki, an Helsinki area is called OAS. So if you study, like me, I study in Lappeenranta University, I cannot get an apartment from OAS. But do not worry, there's actually a student housing apartment that give houses to people in Helsinki regardless of whatever school you are from. So like I said, where do you find apartment? If you are a student, you can get from your student housing agency. You can get from SATO. I'm going to link it down below. SATO is a housing agency that actually give houses to students from anywhere around the country. I'm not sure if they give outside the country, but anyways, around the country. Like for example, if you study in Tampere University, you can actually get a house here in Helsinki from SATO, not OAS, if you know what I mean. So also there's youth apartments, and you have to be of age 18 to 29 to be able to get a youth apartment. And the youth apartment is a little more pricey than the school than the student apartment, but it's not as pricey as the normal the normal apartment. So there are 2 agencies to my knowledge of youth apartments. There's New Ransato. I will also link those down below, so just in case you are age 18 to 29 and you do not want a student apartment, or probably you do not get a student apartment, you can actually go for this youth apartment. And also, I'm talking about in Helsinki, the Nala and the Nuori-asunto. Probably there's another youth apartment, youth housing agency rather, in other states. That's very possible, but just do your research. It's as simple as searching youth apartment in, for example, Tampere. So another place you can get a house is rental companies, and you can mostly find rental companies by searching find an house in Finland, or by going to vuokraovi.com. I'm gonna link that down below as well. And on that row, however, you can actually find several houses. You can find private houses, you can also find different housing agency. But then if it's private housing, you would know, because then it's written private houses there, so no confusion. And also you can get houses on Facebook. Some people actually, you know, advertise their houses like, oh, do you want an apartment this time to this time? So Facebook is also a possibility. So now I'm going to tell you a tip of how to get housing in Finland. When you apply, after applying, be sure to contact the landlord, be sure to contact the housing agency. That is an act that I've been doing since I've been getting house in Finland. First of all, actually, at first, I never used to call. I'm just going to be waiting for them to just offer me an apartment. Sometimes they do, but in most cases they don't, because the line is super long, right? So when I wanted to get this house, I applied and then I called immediately. Then they're like, yeah, we don't know. Then you call back and call back. Not like you keep spamming them, but you just be like, after applying, for example, you'd be like, hey, I just called to check if you received my application, and then they check your application, your name and your social security number if you have one. And at least they already have a consciousness, probably the person scribbled it down or something. And then say 2 weeks after, if you haven't heard from them, just call like, hey, I just called to check the availability and stuff like that. Calling makes the process faster, so you don't have to keep waiting for a line. When I first came here, I waited forever until I actually went to the housing agency before I got a house. Can you imagine? But yeah, be sure to always call or in some kind of way contact the housing agency. The next step is to prepare your documents. In Finland, you actually need documents to get housing. For example, student housing, you need your study certificate, you need your payslip as well, just to be able to show that, oh, I can afford this house. Your payslip is your proof of funds, you know. So just to show that you can afford the house. And for other housing apartments, you need your tax. Maybe some schools you need tax, but it's rare. In most cases, you just need your study certificates and your payslip. But for other housing apartments, you can need your tax or different things. Also payslip, also residence permit, depending on the landlord or the housing agency. Just do your research so that you get those things prepared. Immediately you get the offer of the house, you send it straight up, then you get your house. Then the next one is to actually be sure about what contract are you signing. This country contract is a big thing, and I've made very very avoidable mistakes because I didn't read the contract. In most cases, the contract are finished, but you should, you know, be calm enough or actually be patient enough, you know, to take the contract, translate it before signing anything. Why do I say so? I say so because some housing agency give contract of 1 year fixed term. That is, you cannot cancel the application or cancel the housing within 1 year, but then after 1 year it becomes an open contract. So if you plan to take the house for 6 months, say you're traveling somewhere and you already signed a 1 year fixed term agreement, you would have to keep paying for that 1 year. You do not want to do that. You really do not want to do that. So when you get an house, what do you do? Or what are the payments that you pay? You pay for your apartment fee, you pay for water, and you pay for electricity. In student apartment, in most cases, it's just apartment, and it's like just super cheap, just apartment. But then youth apartment or like normal housing apartment, you pay for water and you pay for electricity. You guys, the electricity, you have to do it on your own. Little story. So when I moved to this house here, I park everything. I just want to on the light. There's no light. I'm thinking, what's going on? Where did the lights go, right? But then my sister told me that I actually have to call the electricity agency and actually make a contract for myself. I'm like, seriously, nobody's going to tell you these things. I'm not even joking. When I went to sign the housing contract, nobody told me, hey, you have to get an electricity contract for yourself. You have to figure it out yourself. But do not worry, I'm here to tell you guys. And yes, some houses actually also require insurance. So the housing insurance, I've stayed in houses that required housing insurance, but this particular house do not ask for housing insurance. So it's just something to find out, so you actually get it before signing, starting the contract, so you avoid any delay, if you know what I mean. So that's it for today. I hope this video really helped you in your housing search, and I hope you find a house in Finland or anywhere you want to find the house. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, be sure to like this video, and be sure to share this video. Bye.